Hey everyone, and welcome back to another SmartSuite BASICS video. In today's video I'll be going through some more cataloging steps, and that's really in regards to cataloging items that do not have an ISBN. So last week we went through cataloging your books through SKIS catalog or global catalog, but now we're going to go over things that don't contain an ISBN, so you can't just import that information from another database. Essentially, we're going to be going over anything that you would really call an asset: a laptop, an iPad, TVs within the school, anything that you want to catalog in the library system and keep a track of within SmartSuite and SmartSuite's assets module. So let's jump in and we'll have a look. So as always, you need to be logged in as someone with admin privileges. Okay, so your librarian's account and so on and so forth. From your menu, we want to go to Catalog and Catalog. Some other things I'll be going over whilst showing you how to catalog your laptops and stuff is security. I'm sure most of you know what security is and how it works, but what I'm going to do is explain how it will work on assets and what your benefits are on adding security to your assets within SmartSuite. So first of all, you can see I've loaded up my catalog page. Very first thing what you want to do is always click New. Okay, now obviously you'll have your items in front of you, whether or not it's laptops or iPads, as well as cameras or whatever it is that asset is, you'll have ready in front of you. It's always good to make sure you've got a school barcode on those items as well. Make sure it's not covering the item's serial number, because that's another thing you can enter into the system, whether or not be this page we're on now or in the assets module, that can assist you in searching up the item if the sticker barcode has come off or is damaged. Alright, so you do need to add a few things. Okay, so that's your title. I'll go ahead and let's just add an iPad. You can add more information there, so it can be iPad Pro, 64 gig. Okay, it's really up to you on what information you want to have. I always think the more information, the better. That way you show whoever's looking at the system exactly what it is that has been catalogued. Okay, so if you had 7 different types of iPads and you just catalogued each one iPad in the record, it then makes it a little bit harder to run reports when you're loaning items out. It's hard to figure out exactly what iPad they have. So I would always add as much information to the title as you can. It'll save you in the long run when running your reports, you're in circulation, you can see exactly what the item is, and that way things don't go missing. Okay, and I will need to add a media. Okay, I'll add equipment as that. You can add other information in here. I do tell a lot of sites to add the serial number in the core number field. This is a searchable field for your record, so when you, again as I mentioned before, if the sticker barcode has been removed, you can search up this serial number. You can do it like this, okay, or you can just remove the SN, but I like to put that there so I know that's the serial number, not any other random number that's on the laptop or iPad itself. Alright, another thing that you can do is remove the show in search tick box. Okay, all this will do is aid the security of the items, so that when users are searching it won't appear. So for example, you had 100 iPads, let's just say a unsuspected person comes in and searches up iPads. They find out, hey, you've got 100. In your copy section, you'll have your location and sublocation of those items. If they know the area, know the library, they'll easily be able to find those iPads and take them away from you. So show in search is a great little feature to untick for assets. Doesn't matter what asset it is, it will just protect you and your items within the library. And that also goes in handy with if you do want these items to appear in the search for specific users like staff members, leave that ticked, and inside your copy section, let me just save this record. Okay, here's where you would add those iPads themselves. So each iPad that has a barcode on it, you would add that barcode in here. Okay, copy number 1, you can put the serial number in there as well. Okay, and then you add your information here. We don't have a daily, let's add one. For those who are wondering what I'm doing, when you add a loan type, you will have to add the information to go alongside that loan type. So I've just added final borrowing date and then the loan period, so there's 1 day. Okay, and then you can add a renewal type of NA, they can't renew the items. Okay, I'm going to head and save that. Okay, but I want to add some more information. Alright, so if I click on this, okay, it allows me to add cost of the item. Okay, it's $999. Replacement cost will say is $1,000. You can add fines if your school runs fines, as well as your supplier. I think I've got JB Hi-Fi in here. Okay, and your cost center if you wanted to add a cost center of IT. Let's just add IT. Alright, so I've gone ahead and added all that information. Now, as I was mentioning before, the not show in search, you can also add a security. Okay, so by default, most sites, well, all sites really, should have staff at security of 50, admins at 999. Okay, so if you only want staff members to see it, or staff members and admins, you would add 50 here, save your record. So when students are searching in this your school's collection page, those items won't appear when they're searching. So they will never see that you have X amount iPads located in the library and in the IT storeroom. Okay, so, and that's anyone that accesses your site. I'm not saying it's going to be students, it could be, you know, parents, anyone that comes along, finds access to your site, can search anything. We just want to make sure that you're protected and all your items are hidden from outside view. So as it sits now, the items will only be visible to staff members and teachers, admins. But keep in mind, if you do try and loan a item out that has a security to a student, you will get a security error appear. It'll just tell you that their security rating is or doesn't match the item. You can override that as a librarian, but say you had a self-serve computer set up, that will require an admin to come and override that message. That's why you can remove the show in search altogether, set this back to 0. Okay, that will stop any security issues when searching, not when searching, when circulating. They also won't be able to search the item, and that includes your staff members and admins. Okay, so admins will have to come to the catalog to search up those records. So just keep that in mind. If we have show in search unticked, okay, that you won't see that in the school's collection at all unless you come to the catalog. Okay, so that's really how easy it is to add your items. Obviously, if you have quite a few, you will want to use the bulk copy option. Okay, you'll add the second barcode or barcode you want to start it if you were doing it from the first barcode, the number of items to create. Okay, you can add all that other information in here, which I do recommend. So you'll have your cost center, your loan type, your sublocation, location, copy status, all that needs to be filled out. And then you will need to select your barcode type. If you're unaware of the barcode type, you can test it by putting in your first barcode, okay, having your second barcode there, just mark that as number 2. I want 2 barcodes to be created. It'll give you 1 and 2 barcodes on that record. You can make sure that the barcodes you have match up, okay, so you do need to make sure that your barcodes are in order. Okay, so if you have 100 iPads and you stuck them everywhere, it's going to be hard to figure out if that sequence is correct. So make sure that you've got your barcodes in order, and make sure you test it. You can also just create a ticket and send us through some of your barcodes so we can have a look and find out what barcode type they are, and then we'll let you know which one to use. Okay, and all you need to do then is hit generate, and that will create those 2 copies on the record that you've created. Okay, so you do have that option instead of just manually going in. Okay, this is iPad 2, and then adding that information. Okay, so you click new, the arrow next to new, and bulk copy. Okay, now assets. If you expand the copy itself, you will see the assets button right here. Okay, this allows you to add specific information for that asset itself. As we go through, you can see the date acquired, sold date if you sold the item, the model number, the serial number, employee who's holding that item. So if it's, say, a laptop that goes out to a staff member for the entire year, you can add their details in there so you know that laptop belongs to so-and-so. Supplier, current value, cost center, status of the item, the make, if you ran maintenance on them, so you could have your next scheduled maintenance for that laptop or iPad. That's good for your IT staff to make sure that all items are getting their scheduled maintenance. And then you've got these other options here as well, that really will only your IT staff would really enter in this information here. Okay, you've got a description and some comments that you can place on that as well. Alrighty, so that's your assets module. It's very simple, but it's very helpful when cataloging items that do require more information to be added in, and that really will help making sure that everything is up to code, maintenance is sorted, and everything else. Okay, so obviously once you enter in your information, you hit save. That will save that record. Okay, and then that asset information will always be on that record. Okay. I do suggest that when cataloging your items, if you don't have a media of equipment, definitely add one. This will help in reporting as well. You can really narrow them down as well. It doesn't just have to be equipment like that. It can be media of iPad, or whatever the items are, laptops, laptop chargers. That way you've got them all separate from everything so that you can always report on them cleanly. So definitely look at, updating your media types. And again, if you're not sure how to do that, select that, enter in here. Okay, if it doesn't already exist, just click on the plus button there, and that will create that authority for you. Okay, if I did chargers, okay, you can see it doesn't exist. I can go plus, Do you want to add that? Yes, I do. Okay, and that's how easy it is to add your authority files whilst cataloging. I'll just jump back to most of these other fields are really unnecessary for your assets. Really, you're going to be doing everything in the basic tab as well as your copy information, and then your assets page here. Okay, so that's how simple it is to catalog your assets, or as I mentioned before, items without ISBNs. It works for any asset within your library or your school. Again, if you watch through, you can see how simple that is. Assets, enter the information you want to enter, hit save, and then that item's ready to be loaned out if that's what you're going to be doing within here, or just keeping, you know, mental note of, well, not a mental note, but a digital connection to the items within the library or school. Okay. I've got a question here. If you're doing bulk copies, the SN wouldn't be in the core number field. Where would you put that in the copies? That is a good question, Brenda. Let me have a quick look. If we go bulk copy. So yes, you wouldn't put the serial number in here when doing that. You'd have to do that afterwards, because obviously that's just going to give you the same serial number if you do put it in there. So you will have to come out and manually add those serial numbers to the copies. Okay. Do we have any other questions? While I'm waiting for some more questions to come through, if you're not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do. That way you guys get the notifications whenever we do go live, and we do go live weekly. Also, the FSI community, if you're not a part of our Facebook community, please do have a look. You can access everything from our, excuse my menu, it's our test site, but our support tab. Okay, so you've got here FSI user community. That will take you straight to the Facebook community where you can view everything that we're putting up there, as well as other librarians are asking questions that you can either participate in or just take note of. Definitely, if you're not a part of that, jump in. It is very helpful. Everything that we do online, we post in there. Any competitions we have, we post in there, as well as, you know, we do an email out as well. But it's good to see what other librarians are doing with the system, other issues that they're having, and how other users have overcome those issues they've run into. A good one came up yesterday on cataloging guided readers. So, you know, you're always going to get some really, really cool questions and some really, really cool answers from other librarians using the system as well. Okay, well, if we have no other questions, I think I'll cut it off there. If you think of something afterwards, or you're going through and you're cataloging your assets, jump in and create a mailbox ticket. Ask us anything. If you have concierge up, ask us in there. We'll love to jump in and chat with you guys and point you in the right direction. But yeah, I appreciate everyone joining in. I'm sure, I believe school holidays are coming up soon, so for those who leave this Friday, I hope you enjoy your holidays, and we'll chat, I'm sure, in the next term. Alrighty guys, thank you very much for coming out, and I'll see you in the next one.